All right, we're going live. This is our transitions are not smooth at all. That's the pain of going live. Yeah, I need to put it back on. Okay.
Are we live?
We're live.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. And welcome to our Tea for All Reasons Facebook Live for July, which is Summer Berries.
Yes, it is.
And we're excited,
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
yeah, for what we are going to be doing tonight. Okay, this feels weird. Still getting used to having a mic. Molly, we're good on sound?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm
perfect.
good at least.
Okay. We have Dad on camera. Molly's on sound and comments.
Hi.
And she's back. Yay.
We're happy she's back.
And then I'm Jen.
And
with
I'm-
Tea for All Reasons.
And I'm Marcia with Vintage for All Reasons.
Right. And we're glad that you're with us. So, all right. So, as I always do at the beginning, just a reminder of the websites and our emails and the Facebook group. You're at the Tea for All Reasons Facebook page for this event. My website is tforallreasons.com and my email is info@tforallreasons.com, and Molly will add that in the comments. And then
My website is Vintage for All Reasons, and Molly will put the link there. And you can
but
also
it's vintageforallreasons.etsy.com.
.etsy.com.
Yeah, she's at Etsy.
Right. And you can contact me, and I will be asking you to contact me tonight at info@vintageforallreasons.com.
Right.
That's for email.
Right. And then there is a Facebook group for Tea for All Reasons. If you go to facebook.com/groups with an S on it, /Tea for All Reasons, come join us. It is a private group. You do need to answer a couple questions to be approved into the group, but all are welcome,
Yeah.
as long as you answer the questions.
Right.
And that's it on the front end. We'll have some announcements at the end. Just as a roadmap, we're going to start with the baking demo, and then you're going to show some stuff.
I'm going to show some stuff.
She
I
has
have some things
She
tonight.
has some things to show tonight.
Right.
And then we'll take a short break, and then I have some things to show, just a couple. And then I'll do the tea demo, and then we'll show the finished bake and do final announcements at the end.
Right.
Right.
And I love our theme. It's summer berries.
Yep.
And that can, kind of include a number of different berries. But tonight, in particular, we're going to feature strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries
Yep.
that are going to go into the special baking feature.
Right. Okay,
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Mom doing the baking demo.
Okay.
So my dad, I'm going to out you. My dad is dealing with vertigo, and so the camera work may be no.
Stop.
You don't do that. He may move a little slower than he normally does, so that he doesn't get out of balance. He's good. He just
Yeah.
needs to move a little slower. And so take your time, making your way. We've got time. Is the oven on? No. Oh, what do you need the oven?
I knew there was something I forgot.
Well, don't both go
I
away.
know, 375. Actually, set both of them, Jen, please. I need both. Yeah, that's not good. Because one of the things I had told you all a few months ago, how important it is to preheat your oven well in advance, and here I am, I forgot. But we had a lot going on. We had a lot going on tonight, so. Okay, you wanna move over? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So it's a little bit more involved baking demo tonight. It's involving 3 of the summer berries, the blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. And this is a recipe for strawberry mascarpone scones with honey milk glaze. Now, I'm adapting this to my own, doing my own thing tonight because we're doing, instead of 1.5 cups of strawberries, I'm actually doing a 1/2 cup or a third of raspberries, a third of blueberries, and a third of strawberries to make it a mixed berry scone. That's what we're doing.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
And also, the other change I'm making is I'm going to demonstrate how to do the scone, and we're not doing the round scones tonight, we're going to do the wedges. And so I actually call this a breakfast scone because it's going to be more substantial, and it's perfect for breakfast, and it's perfect to eat with a fork. You don't need to butter it or anything, just eat it with a fork. And so what I'm going to do is demonstrate a round on the cookie sheet, an 8-inch round, but then it makes enough to do another one, but this one I'm going to demonstrate in a scone pan, which will have the 8 wedges individually placed in the scone pan. So I'm going to show you both. So it's going to make a total of 16 scones, this recipe. And I think in the past when I've made it, I may have halved the recipe to make one scone pan, and it was perfectly fine. But we're doing the whole enchilada tonight. So, okay, first thing we're going to do is combine our dry ingredients. And I already have 4 cups of unbleached flour, and as you all know, I use King Arthur flour, but it is unbleached all-purpose flour. And then to that, we're adding 2/3 of a cup of sugar. And by the way, I'm going to post the recipe for this at Tea for All Reasons and at Food for All Reasons on Monday, so you'll have it there. Also, I'm adding how much baking powder? Oh, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then you know how I like to add the zest to the dry ingredients. So we're going to add the 2 teaspoons of lemon zest to the dry ingredients. Okay, and then we're going to whisk those together, those ingredients.
I smell the lemon.
Yeah?
Yeah, I turned my mic off. I should turn it back on.
And if you see clumps of the lemon zest in there, with your clean hands, you can just dip in there and kind of break them apart a little bit. But I'm not seeing any clumps. So yeah, I smell the lemon.
Yeah, I can smell the lemon.
It's nice. It's going to be a really nice combination of flavors. Okay, now, the next thing you're going to do is whisk together your milk, and this is 2/3 cup of milk and 2 large eggs, 2 tablespoons of honey,
If you spray your bowl before you put your honey in it, the honey just slides right out.
You are correct, and I did not do that. And then to that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Okay, now we're just going to whisk this together.
So how many scones does this make? Because this looks like a large...
16.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a large one for the cookie sheet that'll make 8, and then 8
And then
to
the
go in
pan.
that.
Yep.
You can also, well actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do a round disc and cut after it's baked. I'm actually going to cut them into the wedges because I think it bakes better. I would rather have them to be a little crispy on the edges. And I mean, it would do fine. You know, if you're in a hurry, you can just do a round. But I'm actually going to cut them into wedges. I want to make that clear. Okay, so we've whisked that together, and we're just going to set it aside for now. Okay, now here's the harder part. We're putting in 1/2 cup of butter, and this is regular salted butter.
Do you need your pastry cutter?
It
Or are you
says
gonna use
to
your
use
hands?
two knives.
2 knives?
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. You want to grab it?
It's
It's in the
fine.
bottom. I'd rather use the pastry cutter actually. And I'm actually thinking of cutting in the butter a little bit first before I put the mascarpone in. Okay. You know, sometimes one of the things I've learned through the years is I'll have a method of doing things, and there may be a recipe that veers from what I know is a good way of doing it. And then sometimes I'll wind up being disappointed. I think, you know, why didn't I pay attention to my instincts and what I know works? And thank you, Jen, for suggesting this, because yeah, it takes longer when
It
you
takes
do
longer when you're doing two knives.
two knives.
I mean, the fastest way, honestly, is with your hands.
Do you want to demonstrate the two knife technique?
You can demonstrate the two knife. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
just
you're gonna just, it's cutting up all those little, you want all those little butter pieces to be the size of a pea
yeah,
or smaller. And it just takes longer when you're doing it with the knives.
yeah.
You
I don't like that
cover
much.
more surface area with the pastry cutter,
Yeah,
but to really know that you've gotten all of the butter, your hands is the best method. You just have to be really careful because you can melt the butter if you work it too much.
right. And I don't
You
think
don't
I would
want
want to
milk
do it with the.
No, once you've got the mascarpone in there, you're not using the.
I wouldn't use my hands.
No,
Okay.
no, just when you're cutting butter in.
Yeah, I agree.
Pie crust.
Now, what is that?
This is the mascarpone cheese. Mascarpone cheese, and it is 4 ounces. And some of you may not be familiar with this, but it's almost like a cream cheese.
It's kind of like a mix between cream cheese and ricotta.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sweet.
It's sweeter.
It's sweeter.
Yeah, it's quite wonderful.
It's delicious. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do mispronounce it. I always put the R in the wrong place.
I did that for a long time. All right. Now, so this is going to be a different consistency, you
yeah,
know,
because of the addition of the
because
cheese.
the addition of the cheese, and just be aware of that. But it's this does have a lot of flour, so. And the other thing about this recipe is, you know, the cream scones that I make just call for flour and sugar and baking powder and heavy whipping cream. And this one does call for eggs and butter, which is a little more labor intensive, but you're going to see how wonderful it is and worth the extra effort for sure. All right, we'll see how we do it here.
Works pretty good.
It does. I don't know if I've gotten all the edges yet, but
Just turn it over.
turn it over.
Yeah, take the,
Oh, you mean, oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
move the edges to the middle.
yeah,
Also gets the bottom to the top.
Right. Give it a. I didn't mean to take over.
good, all right.
Many hands.
Give it a fold to get those edges.
Yeah, that's good, very good. All right, I'm just gonna do it a little bit more,
I'll take
but it's actually feeling good underneath the cutter, because I can tell.
Right, that it's crumbly.
It's crumbly, yeah, so we're in good shape. Okay, now, all you do is make a well in the center. And pour in your, actually, you know what? I'm trying to decide if I want to put that fruit in first.
Well, you don't want to crush the fruit.
I don't want to crush the fruit.
But I think you do. Well, okay. What does this say? It says make a well in the center, pour in the egg mixture and the
And the
strawberries.
strawberries. Yeah.
Gently stir until it forms together. So I do think you want to add the whipped cream first and maybe give it a stir or two and then add the fruit into.
Yeah. You see, I usually don't make scones with the fresh fruit. I usually do the dried fruit.
Right.
You have to be really careful because,
Yeah, the extra moisture.
well, the fruit will break apart.
You want to get the honey out from the bottom?
Yep. All right, now
I'm
I need a spoon.
going to wipe the counter down.
Now, it said put the strawberries in, so don't you want to put the fruit in
No,
at
we
this point?
decided we were gonna do a little bit.
Yeah, we were going to stir it. Give it a couple stirs and then add the fruit.
Okay. The blueberries are gonna do well because they're hardier.
Yeah, they'll.
Yeah, there's the raspberries are very fragile.
You want to keep the.
I need it cleaned. I'm gonna use it
Okay.
for the topping later. Now, you don't want to mix it too much because we're gonna put it out on the floured counter in a little bit. So it doesn't have to be. No, that's doing well. I think the fruit will survive. I was tempted to do a test bake on these this week, and I just never got around to it. But besides which, I mean, I have made them before. It's been a while, but
They look good.
yeah, they do.
It's coming together.
It's coming together.
I mean, you're going to have to get your hands in there.
I am. You know how averse I am to get it.
I know. I need to get the nails.
And the rings.
And the
Well, and the
rings.
rings too, but it goes
Yeah,
all
the
in the
rings.
nails.
We're gonna do this because I don't like it in the rings. Okay. All right, I think we're ready to. What do you think, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Yeah, this is where I would.
Okay.
Any flour?
I do.
All right, you lift up the bowl and I'll give you some. Actually, let me wipe that down. You're not going to go out that far, but just in case.
Yeah.
You don't need to wet. I'm going to give you a pretty healthy,
Really? Yeah, I do need a healthy one because it's a moist.
sticky.
Yeah. And I am making 2 sections.
Right.
so,
Is that good to start?
yeah. Okay.
Is that big enough area?
Probably to start with. Maybe spread out a little bit down this way.
Teamwork makes the dream
Yes, it
work.
does. Was watching Paul Hollywood make scones this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his were
Dude,
Different.
You leave like a scone in a bowl.
well,
It's not that much, but
no.
I don't leave anything in the bowl. Culinary school.
Anyway, his scones looked good, but they were a little browner than.
Oh, overcooked them?
Yeah, I think they overcooked them.
But he's Paul Hollywood.
But I know, but you know what? We're not perfect. None of us, not even Paul Hogan.
It's true.
Although he expects perfection
Of course.
on the baking shows, right?
I'm gonna wash that spatula during the break
Okay. And I'm gonna have to sprinkle a little bit on that.
because I didn't want the water noise to be too much.
You got scone. Scone goodness?
Thank goodness. Don't waste
Okay,
any.
I know. All right.
That is a big mountain
It
of
is a big mountain, isn't it?
Scone
And
dough.
we've got to really get this incorporated. We'll do it. And the fruit looks good.
Mm-hmm. Well distributed.
Yeah, and hold them together.
See, if it were me, I'm not telling you how to do it because you're a
Mhm.
master baker, but I would be picking it up and flipping it over to make sure the bottom is.
Yeah, but I'm not sure it's sturdy enough to do that.
Well, if it's not, then you just reincorporate it. All you're doing is padding the mound. I think we need to know what's happening underneath.
Okay. Well,
Do you want me to do it?
no, I want a spatula or something to get under it. Because it's big.
But that's the point. No, here, let me. You just pick it up. You get your hands in there. There you go. See?
Mm.
You're welcome. That's what I was thinking was happening underneath.
Well,
was a
and-
whole dry patch under there.
Yeah, you're right. And the thing is, when I'm making scones, I always knead them. And that's what this is kneading,
So to speak.
so to speak. Yeah. You're right, Jen.
Sometimes.
Well, she's actually the chef.
Well, I'm not really a chef, but I went to school. Yeah, so you got all kinds of dry.
I know, but that's gonna have to lose out. Maybe I should have done it this way.
You lost a blueberry. I just got the stink eye.
Do that again.
You lost a blueberry. Don't lose the fruit.
Are they laughing near us?
Molly's laughing near us. Look, you keep losing that blueberry.
This is how mom treats me when I'm baking around her.
Oh,
Oh no,
okay.
you need to do this, do that.
I went to school.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna tell you to flip it over.
Flip
You
it
have
over
fun
again.
taking over.
Yeah. Huh?
You have fun taking over.
I'm not taking over. I'm assisting.
Sort of like the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah. See,
It turns into
you gotta need that. I know you don't want to overwork it,
No, I
but
don't.
it needs to be worked a little
Yeah,
more.
I agree.
You're still gonna get beautiful scones. I think of those biscuits that I worked and worked
Oh, I know. The other day.
when you guys were at our house,
Yeah.
and they came out
They
perfect.
did. Yeah. Well, I don't think
But that was the sourdough.
these. Yeah, these are very moist. So.
Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna be overworked. I think it's fine. You just gotta get
And-
that stuff in there.
Yeah. So. But how about putting some more flour on there?
And then, look, you got all that.
I
juice
know.
right there.
It's just flour. Okay.
Don't mind me.
Can you feel the love?
There's love.
The show has ended because of creative differences.
All kinds of love.
No.
All
we're
kinds of
good.
love. No, but it did get silent there for a minute, so good job saying something because neither one of us was talking.
Oh golly day! All right, I'm gonna.
Now, I just want to show them how thick that is so
It's
far.
very thick.
It's very thick, so it's got to come down some. And you know what? I'm really not too concerned about the crevices in there. Look at the red, white, and blue we got going here.
True, perfect for July.
All right. Yeah, and you know what? Here's what I did wrong. I should have made it into 2 pieces. Duh. Because I'm doing 2. That's the problem we had, for goodness sakes.
Well, you got it all together, and so, yeah, just split it up. I'm gonna get rid of the spoon. Here, do you wanna lick this spoon, Molly?
That was
I'm sorry, I just heard it.
a mistake right there,
Oh,
right? All right, now we're talking.
now we're cooking with gas.
Well, that's really good.
Except Marmy doesn't cook with gas.
No, I'll take some more flour. It's really sticky. Yeah, it's getting stickier because of the fruit. See, it's starting
Maybe.
to break down a
Maybe.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and your warm hands too.
And my
a little
warm
bit.
hands, yeah.
They're gonna
Okay.
be delicious.
They will be. All right.
Don't mind my big arm. It's just
Yeah,
getting
I
it out of
think
your
what
way.
I do need the big spatula from in there because I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to go ahead and put it on here.
And then cut it.
Yeah, so I need the big spatula.
These?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Give you a clean surface.
Yeah, I need to set the pan down.
Well, I think you're good.
There you go. Okay. Now, so despite the fact that I said I was going to cut them, I think I'm going to leave it.
I say cut them.
You say cut them?
I say cut them.
Okay.
So that's about an inch thick.
It's more. It looks like more than an inch to me.
Think I should make it bigger?
Flatten it out a little more. So it's not level. This side is
Yeah, it's so sticky then.
thicker. It's thicker up here than it is here. It slopes.
All right, yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna need some.
That's not flour.
All right, and we're gonna. It's really moist under that one.
Yeah, your spatula's too thick. That's part of the problem.
Yeah. Okay. And I think we'll go ahead and put this one in the oven.
The other oven.
Yeah, the other oven.
Okay. I'll
That's
take it.
not pretty, but
They'll be delicious.
wow. Okay, now let's work on this one.
How long?
Try 20 minutes first. Yeah, I should have divided those into 2. See how much easier that is? I know. Well, I have to. Had to do it in this.
You set it in a pile.
Ooh, it's like berry swirl. Wow. Look at that. Okay. I hope y'all are still with us.
Everybody still with us?
Uh,
Everybody is still with us?
yeah.
Okay, into the scone pan they go. Okay.
The pan's been greased.
It has been just very lightly greased. I've just always done it that way with this pan. By the way, this pan came from Williams-Sonoma, but they have, other companies have these pans, but I do know this one is a really, really good one. And I do grease it just very, very slightly, so. Okay,
All right, beautiful.
We're ready.
All right, so then this one goes in here
for
for
20 minutes, and then I'll check it. It's supposed to be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'm always going to do it on the lesser side,
Right.
and then we'll increase it if we need to.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Phew.
All right.
We did it.
How about
We have
since you
questions.
okay, you have scone hands,
Two.
so while you wash your hands,
Mhm.
I can show my new thing,
Yes.
and then you can show your wares.
Okay.
Greased with what?
I just used spray, and then I wiped it with paper towels.
Okay. So she has a mic, so you heard that. And then is the pan pre-warmed? And no, you would never pre-warm when you're making scones or biscuits, because you want that butter to be cold. That's what makes them light and fluffy and flaky. If you do a pre-warmed pan, then that butter's gonna melt and your scones will not rise. Did we win? Yay! Okay, so while Marnie is washing her hands, I will show off a few things that I wanted to show off tonight. And then she'll show her wares, and then we'll take a break. And then when we come back from the break, I will do the tea demo, and we'll show the finished scones. So the first thing is I want to remind you that we have the TFAR Reasons cookbook in the shop. I have it. Mom also sells it in her Etsy shop. This was the reprint that we did of her original cookbook. After we ran out of that, we had a lot of people ask if we could reprint it. And so this is the second edition, and it is available in the shop at tfarreasons.com.
And I know we're going to get a question.
Yeah, the
probably.
scone is not in here.
Is not in there.
Yeah, this particular scone recipe is not in this cookbook, but
There are others.
there are others, and my mom's famous cream scones recipe is in here. But she'll post the recipe at Food for All Reasons
On Monday.
one day this week.
Yeah.
I was
Hopefully
giving you
Monday.
some slack.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe Monday, but maybe later. Okay, and then I wanted to show you, I added this pincer spoon tea infuser to the shop. I have a mesh version, but I wanted to get this version as well. This is really stiff. And so on the mesh one, there's a bit of a gap where it opens here, and when you do a small leaf like rooibos, even some green teas, they fall out into your mug, and these are great for doing a mug. But this one has no gap. There's no gap, and a lot smaller holes. So it's going to do really well for black tea, oolong, herbals, and probably for rooibos too, but the holes are still big enough that some of the rooibos or dust fragments would fall through. So we recommend that you wet it first before you put your tea in it, and then only put tea in 1/2 because it needs room to expand into the whole space once the water is poured on it. But this got added to the shop, and it's the pincer spoon infuser in the shop. And if you on the website, there's a menu. Once you get into the shop, there's a menu If you're on mobile, it's at the top. If you're on the website on a desktop or laptop, it's on the left. There's a section for new, and it's in the new section. Anytime I add anything new, it goes into the new section for, honestly, like 4 or 5 months, until I know that people are aware that she got stuff on her. She didn't wear an apron.
Oh, I didn't.
You normally wear an
I
apron.
do.
Anyway, it's in the new section. Not to dwell on that. Okay, I'm most excited to show you these next things. Are these for me?
There.
Perfect. So I've mentioned that I was looking into doing tea bags. They are now available in the shop, only for 3 teas, and they are at those particular teas. So if you find House Blend is one of them, the Tea for All Reasons House Blend. I'm calling them tea sachets. Super fancy. Tea sachets, if you click into the listing for the Tea for All Reasons House Blend, you'll see 2 ounce, 3 ounce tin, 4 ounce bag tea sachets, and 8 ounce bag.
Very cool.
And so I'm excited that these are now available only for 3 blends to start. We'll see how they do. But you get 20 tea bags in the tin. And each bag is enough tea for 1 cup of tea. You probably could get a mug out of one tea bag. I put a generous, you know me, I always heap it. It's a generous perfect cup of tea in the tea bag. You get a total of about 3.4 ounces of tea. And so it's a significant amount of tea. Like if you add all the tea up, it's 3.4.
And that house blend is so great because it has a little bit of Earl Grey in there. And if you're an Earl Grey fan, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
But also, if you like Earl Grey, but you know, just a little bit,
This
you're
is
gonna-
good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's the cream Earl Grey,
Yeah.
which is already good because it's got that vanilla, that
It
soft,
smooths
it
it out.
smooths out that bergamot, and then it's mixed with Mim Estate Darjeeling. It's
a premium tea.
It's a nice black
Yeah.
tea. It's a great black tea for every day, and it's got a label on the back with instructions for brewing on the back of the tin or the bottom of the tin. Anyway, this is what you're gonna get. So the house blend, and then there's a bubble on that label, and then the Dowager Countess Grey is the second one that's available because it's one of the most popular. It's probably the most popular tea.
Really?
Yeah, it's my biggest seller.
Wow,
Yeah, is the Dowager Countess. Every year it's in the top.
that's great.
Yeah. And the other one that's in the top every year is lemon souffle. So there are 2 black teas available in the tea sachets, and then the Rooibos lemon souffle, which is probably my next bestseller.
It is so good.
So good.
And again, talk about smooth.
Yeah.
It's just smooth and
lemony.
creamy.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's great all year round.
It is.
And
And
so
great over ice too.
yeah. And so these are available now in the shop. Like I said, they're at the teas. They're not listed separate on their own. They're in the tea listing. So they're available now.
Very good.
And then I wanted to let you know too that there's a sale going on teas. All teas are 15% off through Monday. It ends Monday, so like midnight Monday. So if you want to wait until Monday to place your order or whatever, that works. But the sale is over that night, and
I had no idea.
I announced it in the group
Well,
twice.
okay.
Eastern time zone?
I missed it.
Eastern time zone.
Darn it. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, no, you haven't missed it.
Okay. Well, I could have had you deliver.
Well, that's true. But I post in the group.
I know. Never
Is
had a
1
chance.
tea bag sufficient for using a tea for 1?
Oh, like a tea for one.
Pot? Probably, yeah. Yeah. Tea for 1 pot. It depends on the size of your tea for 1. Some are larger than others.
Some are larger.
So if you have a larger tea for 1,
Like
which is a misnomer
Yeah,
if it's a tea for
more
1.
than a 2-cupper.
Yeah, right. It's not going to be more than a 2-cupper. You might need 2 tea bags. It depends on how strong you like your tea.
Yeah, if the cup underneath is like a breakfast size cup, like 12 ounces.
Yeah, more than 8 ounces.
Yeah,
You're
12
probably
or
gonna
16,
want.
you're gonna want two.
You're gonna want two.
Yeah.
2 bags. Yeah. Anything more than 8 ounces, I would say use 2 bags.
Yeah, so find out the capacity of the tea for one.
Tea for one.
Pot.
Right. Right. That's a great question.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
All
And
right.
and I'm open to adding more teas with the tea bags. It depends on how well these sell, and if I end up selling. So I packaged to order. Although I do plan on pre-packaging some of these tins just to help me get through the fall and the holidays when it gets crazy.
And just think about maybe picking
Agree.
out one holiday blend to have.
Right. Good gift
what
idea.
Great gifts. I mean, it's right there. All you need is a ribbon.
Stocking stuffer.
Yeah.
Maybe a little big depending on your stocking, but
If it's
stocking.
ours.
Yeah, it would fit in ours. We have large stockings. We're very generous with the stockings. So anyway, so
Okay.
I'm very excited about those, and good idea to do a holiday blend, melange, Noel maybe. Well, I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe Candy Cane Kiss.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that's
Well,
an
I
idea.
sell more Candy Cane Kiss.
Do you? Is that your big seller?
It's one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I have the holiday ones.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I agree. It's a good
What?
one. He's just he's laughing at our banter.
I mean,
So.
anyway,
Okay.
it's fine.
Super.
Okay, so Marmie's gonna show her China stuff. Be very careful, please. There we go.
She specified that the cup underneath is a breakfast-sized teacup, so I would use two tea bags.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Yeah. 2 tea bags. Okay.
All right. So we have some lovelies. We haven't had lovelies in a long time to show you on during a Facebook Live, but I was able to find some things. You know, I do treasure hunting. I was out treasure hunting with our granddaughter, and we had a great time. And so some of these things I was able to pick up in my last treasure hunt, and I thought they fit in perfectly with our theme tonight. Other things I've had on hand, but anyway, first up is this beautiful Royal Staffordshire plate. It has, I don't know if they're baby strawberry. I think they're probably raspberries, but just beautiful plate. And this is from Royal Staffordshire. Yep. And it is $16. And by the way, these items are not in the Etsy shop, so you'll need to send me an email at info@vintageforallreasons.com if any of these things interest you. And it's kind of a first come, first serve. Whoever's email comes in first will have first shot at any of these items. Okay, and next up is this beautiful Arthur Wood & Sons 6-cup teapot with the fruit motif, and it's $39. And then this really cute melamine tray with fruit and flowers. This is $14. And then I have 2 trios, and this is, again, even though it's made by Duchess China, it matches the Arthur Wood teapot. So there are 2 trios. It's the dessert size plates and the teacups and saucers. And if you want to buy them separately, they're $29 each, or you can buy both for $55 for both trios. All right, and then this is a beautiful Royal Albert teacup. It's called Oranges, and they had kind of a fruit series at one time. And this one is $26. And this is, I love spooners. And this is a beautiful one, cut crystal, and it is $15. Wonderful for your spoons, or even teaspoons will go in there. And this set of spoons is they're actually ice cream. They're called ice cream spoons. See how nice and pointed they are? Perfect for summertime, perfect for sherbet or even fruit. But this set of ice cream spoons is $29, and they're silver plate from England. Okay. And then remember last month we were doing the cherry clafouti and using a cherry pitter. Well, this is a cherry pitter, and it's gently used, and it's from OXO, and it's $10. And then this is a vintage ice cream scoop, and it's got a dome shape, and it's $28. That's a real collectible. And then we have 2 sets of 4 iced teaspoons. You can buy them as a separate set of 4, or you can buy all 8. If you buy one set of 4, one set of 4 is 18, and if you buy all 8, it would be 32. And that's it. Happy shopping. Okay.
Okay. So we are at. Oh yeah. I muted so that if I had a side conversation with Molly, if I had side conversations with Molly, I muted my mic. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick break, just to kind of reset, and I'll get ready for the tea demo. It is 7:46, so let's say 5 minutes.
5 to.
5 till?
Yeah,
Okay,
5
that
to.
works. So we'll come back at 7:55, and maybe before then, but no later than 7:55. Oh, and I should get the music. Break music.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit.
So we'll be back.
I can smell those scones already.
I know they smell awesome. This is when we wish we had smell-o-vision. Somebody's gonna invent it. Elon Musk. Smell-o-vision. Okay. All right, so we're back. It's a little bit early. I'll stretch a little bit, make sure everybody's back. I've got my kettle, I've got my teacups, I've got my tea sacks. Okay, so I'm all ready. Mise en place, everything in its place. So I'm ready to do the tea demo. So I'm actually I didn't bring all of the berry filled teas because there are so many of them, and I have recently shown, okay, I'm good. I had this fear that I was muted, but mine was used for the music. So some of them I just recently showed, and so I didn't bring those since we had done those recently. But I brought 11 of our teas that have a berry flavor. And so I'm going to show you the 5 that I'm going to demo 6, and I'm going to show you the 5 first that I'm not going to demo. And then I'll show you the demo teas, and then I'll do the demo. So the first one is Blackberry Mojito. This is a green tea that tastes like it sounds. It's based off of the Mojito cocktail. Obviously it doesn't have alcohol in it, but it's got that lime mint flavor with the blackberry forward in the green tea, and I love it. It's one of my favorites to drink in the summer. It's great hot and it's great over ice, and so that's Blackberry Mojito. And then there's Very Berry Muffin. Very Berry Muffin is a rooibos, and it tastes like it sounds. It tastes like a berry muffin. It's got elderberry, currants, schizandra berries, cranberry, apple, blueberries, raspberry, strawberry, rose petals, essence of orange, and it's a really lovely rooibos. And remember, rooibos is naturally decaffeinated. And so you can drink that any time of the day. And so that was Very Berry Muffin. And then Vanilla Blueberry is also a green tea. Now the difference between these two green teas, this is made with the base green tea is Sencha style, which is more flat leaf green tea, where this is gunpowder green tea. Gunpowder green tea is rolled up, and you can see that they look like funky little furls of tea, but they unfurl when the water hits them. And these actually have some big chunky pieces of blueberry in it. So this is a green tea. I also have one that's called Blueberry Vanilla, not to be too confusing. The Blueberry Vanilla is the black version of what this is. This is the green tea version.
It's called gunpowder because that's what gunpowder looks like.
Right, exactly. If you didn't hear that, although they probably did, because he doesn't have the mic, but it's called gunpowder because it looks like gunpowder. Okay, so the next one is...
I hear him louder than I hear you because he's right next to the phone.
Oh, okay, all right. The next one is Raspberry Earl Grey, and this is a bestseller. It's been around for a while. This is one of Marmy's. Am I not at the right angle? Does that work? This is a black tea, and it tastes exactly like the name. It's raspberry with Earl Grey flavor. It's fabulous, and I highly recommend it. And then the last one I'm going to show, but not blend or not brew, is Manor House Rose. This is a nice rooibos that's raspberry flavored. It's got nice chunks of raspberry in there with rose petals, and it smells wonderful and it tastes wonderful as well. Rooibos, and that's Manor House Rose. So I'm going to close these up, move them out of the way. So the next ones, so I chose the 6 to show you because they're all different types of tea. I'm going to show you black, I'm going to show you oolong, green, herbal, and rooibos. Because I like to show a variety where I can. Oh, and I also have a white. And so we'll start over here. This is the oolong, and this is, I'll get to that. This is strawberry oolong, and it's lovely. I love oolong. It's a nice mild tea. I call it between black tea and green tea. I I steep it more like a black tea. I steep it a little longer than a green tea. No more than 3 minutes. But it's really lovely, and it has a nice strawberry flavor to it. It's fresh. You have some of those, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost out.
Oh, it's good. So that's the oolong. And then this is Mansfield Park. Now, some of you may remember that I needed to reformulate this one, which I did, and so it looks different than it originally did, but it's a nice white tea. It does have some green tea in the blend, but it's basically a white tea. And it has the flavor of white chocolate and raspberry, and it is fabulous.
It is. Another one.
It's
fabulous.
wonderful, and I love it. And I was trying. It does have cranberries in it as well, but it is raspberry forward. So, question: is oolong decaffeinated? No. The only decaf teas that we have are rooibos. Any rooibos, which is technically an herbal because it's not made from the Camellia sinensis plant. So a basic tea primer for anyone who's new. It really should only be called tea if it's made from the Camellia sinensis plant, which is what white tea, oolong, green tea, and black tea. They all come from the one plant. Rooibos is from a redbush plant that's called rooibos from South Africa. It's technically not a tea, it's just called tea because we use that word when we steep something into a drinkable liquid. We tend to call it tea. It's actually a tisane. And the same with herbals. Herbals are not tea because they're made from fruit or flowers and usually don't have Camellia sinensis tea in it. And so an herbal is not technically a tea. That's the quick and dirty explanation. So no, the oolong, to get back to the question, oolong is not decaffeinated. It does have caffeine in it. And then someone asked if I ever sell to the tea cart, and that is no.
No, sadly, I was friends with, and still am friends with, the original owner of the tea cart, and we talked about tea a lot and our business a lot, but when she opened, she was already fully stocked. And now I think a few years ago, I did supply her with a couple of special blends, but they have their own.
Yeah, they have their own
signature blends over there. So,
right. So no,
and they're all good.
And their tea's fabulous. No, I sell to historic Rosemont Manor in Berryville, of the local tea places. Rosemont Manor, Crest Hill in the Plains, and Pulaski in Southwest Virginia, and then the Cape Pearl up in Maryland,
George Washington Hotel,
and the George Washington Hotel
here in Winchester.
I think that's it for local tea rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I sell to a bunch of other places around the country, but of the locals, those are the locals. So
there aren't any local anymore. Which is really sad.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, Miss Minerva's in Culpeper.
Right.
I sold
right.
to. Yeah, they carry my teas at Miss Minerva's in Culpeper. Anyway, okay, so I showed Mansfield Park. Okay, so the next one is Eton Mess, and I brought that one back last summer, and it ended up being really popular. This one tastes like the dessert that's British out of Eton College, and it's literally a mess of meringue and cream and berries. And so this tea is a mess of meringue and berries in a black tea base.
Yeah.
And it tastes like berries, and it's got the fun meringue pieces. So these are literally little broken up pieces of meringue. There's no gluten, so in a meringue there's no flour used. It's basically egg whites and sugar.
Yeah.
And maybe some vanilla.
This is one of my all-time favorites. I just love this.
It's a great one, and it has nice big pieces of strawberry in it.
Yeah, lovely
and very good. Okay, the next one. I think I demo this one there last time. I'm trying to remember. I think I showed it, but I don't think I brewed it.
Okay.
So this is sweet berry compote, and this is relatively new, and it is an herbal, so it is naturally decaffeinated because it doesn't have any tea in it. It's literally just a bunch of fruit. but it tastes delicious, and it's got coconut in it. So it's apple, sultanas, hibiscus, elderberries, coconut chips, freeze-dried banana, rose petals, freeze-dried cherry, and raspberry. And it's fabulous. And so I'm going to demonstrate that one.
You can wait on the rest of them.
Okay, you can hold on to that. That's questions for you. And then this is raspberry punch. Now I actually just had to reformulate this because the original that I was getting was discontinued by my supplier. And so I recreated it and so that I could keep selling it because it's pretty popular.
It is.
It's a great green tea that's raspberry. It makes it's got hibiscus in it, and it makes a great iced tea.
It does.
It's probably better iced. This is one that I definitely recommend for summer if you want something to drink. It's very fruity flavored.
And just a little bit of tartness.
A little bit of tart
Yeah, I love
from
it.
the hibiscus. It's fabulous, and it really does make a great iced tea. But don't make it cold brew. I'm not a proponent of, none of my teas are appropriate for cold brew.
No.
But so make it a traditional way and then chill it, and then you'll have great iced tea.
By the way, make it the traditional way, but cool it down totally before you chill it
To room temperature.
to room temperature, because if you put it in the fridge warm, it's going to get cloudy.
Yeah. Don't put it in the fridge when it's hot.
No.
Let it cool to room temperature, and then you can put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll still taste fine. It'll be cloudy.
Yeah, you don't want the
You don't
cloudy.
want, you don't want cloudy tea.
Now, if it happens that you get cloudy tea, you can add some boiling water to it, and that's supposed to dissipate the
Right. We've
cloudy
never
water.
tested that. I don't think.
I have.
Oh, and it works.
But years ago, because I learned
Okay.
not to do it.
Yeah. So, so anyway, yeah, you're gonna brew the tea like you would normally if you were gonna drink it hot. Let it come down to room temperature before you put it in the fridge. Now, what I can say is you can put ice into it.
Yes.
Ice doesn't cloud it,
No.
which is weird, but it doesn't. So that's how I usually do it. I'll make the tea and I just dump a bunch of ice into it. So I make it stronger because that ice is going to dilute the tea. So I do make it stronger when I know I'm going to put it on ice, and then I just dump a bunch of ice in it, and you've got your iced tea.
Yeah. Wonderful.
And it's perfect.
Yeah, don't let it, and don't let it sit on the counter like all morning long. you want to follow the same brewing instructions for
Right.
your tea. You don't want to.
Yeah, don't let the tea leaves sit in the tea all
let 'em
day.
to get it stronger and everything. You figure you'll add water later to make more iced tea.
No.
Make more quantity, but then you've got bitter tea.
Yeah, no, the same rule applies. If
Yeah.
you want it stronger, use more tea, not more time.
Right.
And that's our motto: more tea, less time. So,
Yeah.
the shelf life of our teas. So, from when I package it to when you get it or keeping it, whatever, I say a year to 2 years. No more than 2. Once you open that package, the clock starts. Essentially, is what I would say. It depends on how fast you drink your tea. I have some customers that drink their tea very fast and reorder so that it's never an issue. Some of you maybe, a 2-ounce bag could last a year or longer.
What you're going to find is that it becomes flat.
Right.
It just doesn't have that same.
The flavor's less intense.
It's less intense. It's just kind of flat tasting. It's perfectly drinkable.
Right.
It's safe to drink.
Yeah, it's not unsafe.
It's not unsafe. It's just going to taste.
It won't be fresh.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then the last one that I'm going to brew for you is one of my favorites, and it's peach berry, and this is a rooibos, and the base teas for this, one of the base teas for this was discontinued, and I reached out to my supplier and I bought a bunch of it while they still had it in stock. Actually, I think that they had to make it for me.
Really?
Yes, they said that they would make it for me, and so they made it for me, and so I bought the corresponding quantity that I needed of the other ingredients, and so I have a large quantity of peach berry.
Buy it up.
Which is awesome because I love it. I
Because
drink
it's on
it,
sale until Monday.
and it's on sale till Monday. But I drink this one and I love it. Peach berry. So it's peach with cranberry and strawberry flavor in rooibos, which is naturally decaffeinated. This one's also good on ice.
Mm-hmm.
I love it hot, but I also,
Yeah.
it's good on ice.
Yeah, and remember, you know, a lot of these fruity teas are not exclusive to summertime.
Right.
I mean, for instance, the Eaton Mess, I'll drink all year round. I really will, and I would feel the same about peachberry. You know, the decaf.
Right.
Yeah.
And the sweet berry compote would be good all year
Yeah,
round.
it would. And
The Mansfield Park.
Mansfield Park, yeah. Not just in summer.
Yeah, they're not necessarily summer.
And
Restricted.
by the way, you know, my new favorite last Christmas was Cranberry Glow. I drank that well past Christmas. I just
Yeah.
loved it until I had no more.
Yeah, I have more.
I know.
I can stock you up. Okay, so I usually show this, and I didn't. I was listening, and I wasn't even paying attention. I'll show it in here. So T-Sec number 1, I'm going to use for these teacups because they're small. So these come out of the package with 2. That's only 1. With 2 that are kind of seamed together. I don't know how to say it. They're. It's like they heat seal them together on this crimped edge. If you find the bottom, which folds like that, you'll find the top of the second one that's attached, and they just rip apart. And so I did that ripping apart while you were talking about these teas are not restricted to the summer.
Do you mind if I answer this question before you move on?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Actually, I will, I'll load the T-Sec. So
Okay.
y'all have seen me load the T-Sec. If you're new, maybe Dad will focus on what I'm doing so you can see it,
Okay.
and then I don't have to explain it, and you
Okay.
can answer your
This
question.
won't take long, but someone did ask if the items that I showed tonight are available in the shop, in the Etsy shop. I think the only item that is in the Etsy shop right now is the ice cream scoop, possibly the ice cream spoons, but I have reduced the price on those ice cream spoons. So you can send me a message if you want to, but otherwise, send me an email. Sorry, info at vintageforallreasons.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook. Send me a message through the Tea for All Reasons Facebook page, and let me know what you're interested in, and we'll take care of you.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to move these so that they correspond
And
with
by the way, tell Molly who that was who asked that question. And let me know who that
Who
was
asked
that
the
asked that question about if the items were shown in the shop.
Joanne Lowe Hunter.
Oh yeah, I know Joanne. Okay, Joanne, I will contact you, but you can send me a message through the Tea for All Reasons page and let me know what you're interested in.
All right.
Okay?
Okay, so I've loaded the black and the herbals. I'm going to put water on the herbal and the... Okay. If I can do this without spilling any. Yeah. Okay, so this is the sweet berry compote, which will take the longest time. And then I'm going to put... Move that. And then I'm going to put water. This kettle is so heavy. Put the water on the peach. Thank you. Peach berry. Because that's the rooibos and it takes longer. So the herbal and the rooibos can take up to 5 minutes or longer. The black tea, oh my goodness, takes 3 minutes, maybe 4. Okay, that's so heavy. Okay, so we'll let those steep for a minute or 2 because then the green tea and the oolong are only going to take, well, I should do oolong first. Oolong, all right, you can pour water, that didn't open up, on the oolong. Let me fold that. Okay, and then I'll load the...
How long on the oolong?
The oolong will be just shorter than the black. And then the green, raspberry punch. So if you've seen me do this before, I open the sack, I put the spoon in and I turn it to unload it. And then I do fold over the sack. There you go. Can you do the Mansfield Park? Yep. Please and thank you. Okay. Oops, I need to spoon. Spoons right
Oh,
here.
sorry. punch.
All right, I'm gonna wait a minute because the white tea is only gonna take about 1 minute, because you really don't want to oversteep or it gets bitter. You don't want bitter tea.
No.
That's why we harp on these times. Some teas are more forgiving. I mean, obviously the herbal and the rooibos, which are not Camellia sinensis, you can steep those, like I said, 5+ minutes, sometimes even up to 10, depending on how you like it. I've forgotten that I've been steeping a rooibos and come back like 15 minutes later, and it's totally fine.
It's fine.
It's not hot, but it tastes fine.
Do you want me to do more?
Oh, I'm sorry, I just coughed and that microphone's right there. Okay, yeah, so we'll give that 1 minute. Okay, so how much time was that? That was 3 minutes? All right, so I'm going to squeeze out the Eaten Mess, which is the black. That looks weak. A little bit weak.
A little bit.
I'll let it go. It's a little bit on the weak side. Okay, and then the oolong. Not ready? Ah, that looks ready to me. Okay, so this is the strawberry oolong. And I squeeze using the tea bag squeezer. I highly recommend, and I do carry it in the shop. I squeeze every drop out of the bag. And so there's the oolong. And then, gotta get the white tea. And then I'll get the green. It's a very delicate balance of time. Okay, so this is the Mansfield Park, which is the white tea. Okay, and here's our green tea, which looks pink because of the hibiscus and a little bit maybe the raspberries. But hibiscus is always going to color your stuff pink. All right, and we'll let those pots at a time. Don't. Yes. Okay, we've talked about this too. Okay, so when you're in a tea room and they bring you a pot of tea and the leaves are in the pot, you do run the risk that your tea is going to get bitter the longer that those leaves sit in the pot. What you can do is ask if they can remove the leaves before they bring the pot to you. Some tea rooms might be able to do that if you feel like your tea is getting bitter. If they're not able to do that, then you just have to deal with the oversteeped tea. They will bring fresh water to put in the pot. That doesn't really help with the oversteeping, but I don't know, maybe a little bit, but that's just the risk that you run when you're in a tea room and they're bringing a pot of tea. The teapots tend to be pretty small, so the idea is that you're gonna drink that tea pretty quickly. But yeah, it will oversteep, depending on the kind of tea that you get too. Like if you get a black tea, it's more forgiving, I think, than if you got a pot with a white tea or a green tea. Green tea gets bitter, hands down. Like you're not going to get around it. I don't know. Any suggestions from you? No.
Drink it fast.
Yeah, just drink it fast. You got to drink it fast. Okay. But you can always ask if they are able to remove the tea before they bring the pot to you, and they may be able to accommodate you on that. Okay, so this is the rooibos peach berry, and then this is the sweet berry compote herbal, which again is pink because it's got that hibiscus in there. So as a reminder, I'll start over here. This is the strawberry oolong, Mansfield Park, and the oolong, Mansfield Park white tea, Eaton Mess black tea, which I acknowledge looks weak, sweet berry compote herbal, raspberry punch green, and peach berry rooibos, which also looks a little bit weak, but it's not. because the peach berry has green rooibos in it as well. Green rooibos is the same plant as regular rooibos. It's just treated differently. I forget. I have read what the difference is. It's the fresher rooibos before they dry it, or however it is that they, however they process it to get it red. And I can't remember what that is right now. But the green is the fresher of it. It's like the difference between green tea and black tea, but it's for the rooibos. Hopefully that made sense. I think that's it for the teas. Any questions? Any other questions on the
No.
teas? No
No more.
questions? All right. So Mom's working on the scones behind us. Look how beautiful.
Those look good.
Beautiful.
So what's that on top?
This is a glaze of confectioner's sugar, half a cup of confectioner's sugar, 1 tablespoon of honey. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
And 2 tablespoons of milk.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They look awesome. Now, were these the one in the pan, the scone pan?
I mixed them.
Oh, you mixed them together.
Yeah, because
To fill
I
out the
wanted to
plate.
Fill out the plate, yeah.
Okay.
But they, here's how they come up in the scone pan. They come up really nice and beautiful.
I'm gonna take that corner.
Yeah.
Delicious.
So, yeah,
yeah, so they look good.
yeah, and they're just so good as a breakfast scone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, any time
Anytime.
of day.
Anytime.
But I would eat them with a fork.
You want to show the cut ones there on
Yeah.
there
I'll bring it.
to compare?
Well, there's some cut ones here.
Yeah, just to show.
Yeah, I didn't show the.
Yeah, she didn't show them on the pan, but that's
Yeah.
what they look like when they came off.
Yeah.
They look like a traditional
Yeah.
wedge.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one more thing that I forgot is the table topper over here that goes along with the summer fruit theme. I totally forgot. And I think someone might have asked about that. This is a beautiful table topper. It's got peaches and blueberry butterflies on it, and it's priced at $28, and it's pretty sure it's 43 by 43. Might be 44 by 44. Okay? And I think that's it.
Okay. Finished bake. Okay, so just as a reminder, all teas are on sale right now. 15% off, all teas, and that includes the samplers. I think the samplers are included.
Okay.
And so that means these are too, because they're listed with the teas.
Hey now.
So you can get your first tin of tea bags at 15% off.
Very good.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
But it does end 11:59 p.m. Monday night Eastern time. That's when the clock. That's when the timer goes off on my sale thingy in my website.
Right.
It's nice. It's automated. It's awesome.
Yeah. You can go to bed.
I go to bed. It makes things a lot easier. Yeah.
You know, and there were days, I mean, in years past, where we would have to sit there.
Sit there and turn it off.
Turn it off.
And turn it off.
Oh
No, I
my
don't have to
word,
do
because
that.
they couldn't schedule or anything. Oh my gosh.
No, it's,
Yeah.
it's great. I can schedule and it's fabulous. Okay. The next Facebook Live is August the 17th, and it's going to be Tools of the Trade. And so our thought is we use a lot of gadgets, both for the tea side and the baking side, and so we thought to help you guys that we would revisit some of the necessities that I sell and actually show some of them in use, which I have in the past, but as a refresher, some of those, but then also to show some of the kitchen gadgets that we use, like we both use.
Yeah, utensils and pans and all sorts of things.
Just so that you're aware of what's out there.
Yeah. You can start building a wish list.
Exactly. Yeah. Your Christmas wish list.
Yeah.
Yep, for kitchen gadgets. So we thought we would show you tools of the trade, And that's August 17th, 7 p.m. Eastern, as normal here at the Tea for All Reasons page.
And, you know, I might do a baking, but I'm thinking maybe just an easy savory of some kind.
Yeah,
Maybe
we'll
not a
figure it.
savory.
We
Yeah,
literally just decided what we're doing
Yeah,
this
so
afternoon.
we'll think it through more, but we definitely are doing tools of the trade.
Tools of the trade, and I
Yeah.
might show some teas too.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we're going to show
That's
stuff,
the theme.
gadgets.
That's the theme,
gadgets.
yeah.
So yeah. Well, I guess I'm doing teas if I'm going to show how to use some things.
Yes.
But
There you go.
But anyway, but yeah, we literally decided right before we went live what we were doing. So I need to create the event. It's not even created in Facebook yet, so I'll create that tomorrow and post it. And then Molly and I will do the drawing tomorrow, and that will get posted tomorrow too. So the drawing for the giveaway.
I'm so jealous.
The giveaway tonight is a 4-ounce bag of raspberry Earl Grey,
That's awesome.
which I did not demonstrate. I showed it, but I didn't demonstrate it. It's a wonderful black tea.
Oh.
It really is. So good.
I'll never forget when, I think this may have been the very first tea that I blended.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And just fresh new, it just had, you know, invested a little bit of money in buying some wholesale tea and was starting to think about wanting to blend. And hubby and I had gone to a tea room up in Pennsylvania, and I had raspberry Earl Grey, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is the best tea I've ever tasted. Now, mind you, I hadn't tasted a lot of varieties of tea at that point. And so I asked the waitress if she could ask the proprietress if she could give me any hints on where she purchased it. Well, she wasn't willing to tell me where she purchased it. So, but I did purchase a bag of loose tea from her, of the raspberry Earl Grey. And then I took it, or I sent it to the gentleman who sold me, the company that sold me my very first order, and asked him if he could tell me what was in it. And he came back and told me what was in it. And then he said, you're gonna have to play around with it, you know.
Right, get the
But
right
that
formula.
was how I started. That was the very first one,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest is history.
Yeah. Sorry, I have to cough, so I'm going to mute my mic because it's going to be bad.
But that was back in probably 2001.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you get some of Mom's first blend.
Very first one.
The raspberry Earl Grey 4-ounce bag
Yeah,
this
awesome.
month. So, and the giveaway word, the key word is berries.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so Molly and I will do the drawing tomorrow after church, as we normally do. And so, if you're rewatching this, I'm sorry, this cough. The cough gets worse at night, and when I talk a lot. If you're rewatching, oh, sorry,
Good.
contagious, contagious. I saw him trying not to cough. I saw him trying not to cough. When you have to cough, you can't hold it in. Anyway,
I mean, you can try, but you're
you can
just gonna
try,
look
but
kind
then-
of weird.
then you get that. Anyway, if you're on a rewatch, sorry, gotcha.
That was a snuff.
A snorkel.
Sneeze and a cough.
Oh, a sneeze and a cough. That's even worse.
I knew what you meant.
Okay.
You absolutely cannot stop the sneeze. Anyway, what were they saying? I got so distracted. I'm lost too. Oh, no. It's gone.
Someone said that
Oh,
we might
if
need
you're-
to eat some scones for the cough.
Yes.
No, the scones will actually
For
make it
sure.
worse.
Well, the tea. We need
The
to
tea.
drink
The tea. No, I remembered what it was. If you're on a rewatch, because I know some people can't watch us live, and so you'll watch on the rewatch, you can enter the comment with the keyword until about 11:30 Eastern time tomorrow morning, noon-ish. At that point, I'm going to start rolling through the comments to pull the names, and so if your name is in there before, say, 11:30 noon tomorrow Eastern time, you're good to put your name in there.
I wish I could send you a scone.
Or put the keyword berries, and then you get the bag of tea. Okay, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
We kind of ended on a chaotic.
Yeah.
Going out with a bang
Going out
for
with-
July.
Going out with a cough. Anyway,
We're glad you stayed with us.
Thanks
We
for-
trust that you stayed with us.
thanks for hanging with.
Thank you.
And we will see you August 17th.
Yeah.
Unless you're hanging out on the page with Mom every day, or in the group with me, and
Say the keyword once more.
Yeah.
the keyword berries, BERRIES.
Yes.
I put it in.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I always do.
Well, thank you, folks. We're so glad you joined us.
Yep, and hope you have a good rest of your weekend.
Yeah. Happy sipping. Bye.
Bye.